Hi. Today I want to talk about attention, which is an important part of mindfulness. And when it comes to attention, people often do things automatically. They go through the motions or the steps and they're not even thinking about what they're doing. Driving's a good example. Have you ever been somewhere and you arrive home and you pull into the driveway only to realize that you've got no recollection of the route you took to get back to home. Same thing happens with routine tasks at work. For example, I was once watching a guy work in a garage, and he went to put a quart of oil in a car, and he just automatically unscrewed the radiator cap, and we had to say something or he would have poured it in there. So this is called mindlessness. Attention and mindfulness, there are some good types of attention that we want. Most of the time when we think of attention, we think of being focused. And for example, when you're reading a book, sometimes you'll have a moment of awareness where you realize you have no recall of what you were reading because your mind drifted. Prior to the drift, you were focused and you were taking it in with retention. So focused attention is something that where you apply attention in a meaningful way to while doing a specific task. Another useful part of attention is what we call scanning attention, is when you're looking out, surveying an area to see what needs to be done. So it's more, your awareness is focused more on the big picture, and you would easily notice movement or changes within the field that you're scanning. So where focused attention is more narrowing down into a specific area. There's a third type of attention, and it's what I call divided attention, and it's more commonly referred to as multitasking. And multitasking is literally doing two things at the same time, and people simply do not do this well. Research shows that, for example, texting while driving, we hear a lot about that, and that's because people can't do both. They're either focused on texting or they're focused on the driving. And obviously when they're focused on texting, then the driving suffers. Sometimes people think they do this well. I think the people who say they do it well are actually doing task switching. They're using focused attention on one task, and then they switch to the other task. And so what they're doing, they're managing more than one thing with focused attention, but they're actually not doing multitasking. There was some research on multitasking that showed that the people who think they multitask the best actually perform the poorest in the research. And so it reminds me, I saw a company that had a job opening, and they were advertising for someone who could multitask well. And just by following the research, that meant that they were actually going to interview people who think they multitask well, who research shows do the poorest on performance, and that's what they were going to end up hiring, was a person who had the highest confidence in poor performance. So multitasking is something that you want to avoid, and divided attention is something that needs to be avoided as well. So it's what I call the divided attention trap. So if you think about this, in mindfulness, attention is important. Focused attention and scanning attention are the positive types of attention that we want to use. And mindfulness, practicing mindfulness, can actually extend your ability to use focused attention. So attention is an important component of mindfulness. It's intention, attention, and attitude. Thank you.